Oh, okay. Can everyone hear me okay there? All right, so we're a little after 3 and like to get started, be respectful of everybody's time here today. So my name is Art Maliso. I'm an Assistant Scoutmaster with the troop, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for this Eagle Court of Honor today. So what I'd like to do is start off by calling Alex Zhang, one of our past senior patrol leaders, for the presentation of colors. Alex?
All right. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, return to rank. About face ready, and color guard forward march. Color guard halt. About face ready, and color guard at ease.
All right, everyone at ease, thank you for the color guard there. So I would like to take this opportunity to now declare this National Court of Honor in session. Today we have the honor of recognizing two scouts for the highest award of Eagle Scout. Those scouts are Kevin Franklin Edward Kiles and Sohan Varma Pinnamaraju. So at this time, what we're going to do today is, as you see in our program, we have several different parts today for those of you that have not been to a Court of Honor before. What we do is we open up by just introducing the scouts briefly by having someone either from the troop or from their family come up and introduce them. Then we'll follow that up with an investiture, which explains why, their path to get to Eagle. And then we have a couple of special presentations that the troop does. And then we have our charge to the Eagle, which will inspire them as to what their role is moving forward as Eagle Scouts. And then ultimately, the presentation of the rank of Eagle. So, it's one of these things that being part of this troop and being here for several years now, it's an honor to see Kevin and Sohan make it to the rank of Eagle and see all their hard work culminate in what we have here today. I've had the honor to work with both of them over the years and seeing what they've done in the troop in terms of their leadership and their skills. And this is an exciting day for all of us. So first, what I'd like to do is call up Kevin and his family, and my understanding is as Father Kevin D. Kiles will be introducing him.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really honored that Kevin asked me to present him today. But before I present him, as a parent, I do want to take just a moment to recognize the adult leaders of this troop. For those of you who don't know a lot about scouting, this is all volunteerism. And the adult leaders spend an inordinate amount of time every Tuesday of every week mentoring these young people. They take them on camping trips every month. They take vacation for about a week every year to go up to summer camp to stay up with them in the woods. Why, I don't understand, but they do that. And some of them take off multiple weeks to take these young people to the World Jamboree or other contingencies to Sea Base or to Field Mock. And so it's just amazing what these folks do. And when you think about the number of Eagle Scouts who have come through this particular troop, it's extraordinary. And it's because of the dedication of our adult leaders and just the programming that this particular troop puts into place. So I just ask you to please give our adult leaders a round of applause. I can truly say as a parent, it's been a blessing being a part of this particular troop. You know, when I think about my son, I can't help but think about when his journey began, because quite frankly, how Kevin began his life, it was probably improbable for us to think that we would be here at this moment. Unfortunately, we had some complications during when Zena was pregnant with Kevin, and Kevin had to be born at just less than 24 weeks. He was born. He was 1 pound 3 ounces. The doctors basically told us it was a 50% chance that he would survive. And they said that if he did survive, he would have a lot of physical ailments and learning disabilities. Well, thank God none of that happened. Kevin never had any physical ailments. He never had any learning disabilities. I think if anything that he did have, he was a little slow at speaking, but Lord, once he started talking, he would never stop. So, I mean, it was unbelievable, you know, that journey, and it's all been by the grace of God. So fast forward to now. He's a senior in high school. He's about to graduate from Cass Technical High School in a few months. He's maintained a 3.8 GPA while he was there. Kevin has been a part of numerous extracurricular activities other than scouting. He's been a member of the Detroit Kappa League, which is the youth mentoring program for my fraternity, and he's on the executive board of that group. He participates in midnight golf, and he's also on the Cass Tech golf team. And although, you know, he probably wasn't, you know, the best golfer on the team, because of his leadership abilities that he's learned from being a scout, as well as being in the Kappa League, they wanted him to be their captain. And so it just goes to show the work that these organizations, these youth organizations do for these young people to bring up their skill set. Of all the activities that we had Kevin involved in, the one thing that we never had to force him to do was scouting. Kevin loved scouting from minute one. We started as a Cub Scout in the first grade. Luckily, back then, the parents had to participate in Cub Scouts pretty actively, and we went camping once a year. And I was really worried when we were about to come to Troop 179, because they said they went on camping trips every month. And I was like, ain't no way I'm going on a camping trip every month. I'm not sleeping on the ground every month. So I was relieved when I came here to find out that the parents did not have to go on the camping trips. So I said, hey, Kevin can continue with his scouting activity and we can participate, because luckily I didn't have to go camping with him. But it's just been an absolute joy watching him grow up. And so I just want to say on behalf of myself, my wife Zena, his older brother and sister, and his godparents, that we want to present to you Kevin Franklin Edward Kyles. And son, we are truly proud of you. Thank you.
Okay, so now at this time, I'd like to invite up Sohan and his parents. And I'd also like to invite up Brian Effersey, who will be introducing Sohan today.
How's everybody doing today? Be a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best. So I am very honored to introduce Sohan as an Eagle Scout. Sohan began as a Cub Scout in Pack 45 at Longacre Elementary School. He and a handful of his buddies joined our troop after crossing over. I actually think at that time I may have still been taller than him, but probably not. Anyway, since Sohan's been in the troop, he's had various leadership positions over the years, including being an assistant patrol leader, and an instructor to the traditional scouts. In addition, he had the honor of being in the Axemen over several terms. The next thing I'm going to mention might not seem like a big deal, but from my perspective, it really is. And Sohan and I were talking a couple days ago, and actually he didn't think it was that big of a deal. But several years back, or I had noticed before Sohan and I had talked, he had been in our, like the troop website had said he had been a guide for less than a month. So I asked him about that, and so he had got appointed to be a guide in the troop for the New Scouts, I believe, and then he had got home and thought about it and realized he had too many commitments, and he had a conversation with Chuck to tell him that he needed to decline the appointment. So the reason I bring this up is I find it a very mature response that someone Sohan's age, including, being a scout, would think about the responsibilities of the position as well as other responsibilities they have going on in their life, and come up with an honest assessment of what he can and can't do. I think most people, including most scouts, would have just accepted the position, and I've witnessed firsthand how that can create a void in youth leadership for a specific term when someone has too much stuff going on and they can't really manage the commitment of being a leader in the troop as well. So again, from my perspective, that was a really mature response from Sohan. I did ask Sohan about his experiences as a patrol leader, and he thought things went mostly smooth, but did admit at first he had to learn how to be a leader. But he took the things that he was taught about servant leadership, the things he had learned from the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, and figured out how to apply those lessons to get other scouts to do the needed work. Say, for example, cleaning dishes on a campout, which is always a good example. So those of us who work with the scouts, in particular the middle school or fifth graders, know that there's always scouts that age that like to avoid work. So Sohan figured out how to persuade them to get tasks done for the betterment of the patrol. And he's taken those leadership skills that he learned into other ventures, and no pun intended by saying ventures, including various groups he's been involved with in high school. He feels the skills that he's learned in scouting have made him a more effective leader within those groups too. So one of the things that Sohan told me, and I think it mentions it in the program as well, is he really enjoyed having a bunch of his friends from Cub Scouts join the troop, and he's always had a good group of friends within the troop. And although some of them eventually moved onto other things, he's always had a good group of friends within the troop, up including currently, and that includes Kevin as well, being part of that group. Sohan was a den chief for Pack 45, so as I mentioned, that was the pack he came up with. So what a den chief does is a scout in our troop or in other troops will go back and help Cub Scouts learn various scouting things. So he worked with Cub Scouts, which had the rank of bear. He helped teach them the Scout Oath and Law and other Scout-related things. And he did this over the course of several terms, around 6 to 8 months, in which they met almost every week. So this was in addition to being active in our troop, obviously being in school, playing basketball, doing other activities. So it's clear that Sohan had to learn how to manage a full schedule pretty early on in life. And I know many adults who don't do it that well. So that's a very good trait. Sohan said scouting has taught him to be a better person. He strives to live by the Scout Oath and Law. One of the things that he's done is he volunteers at Beaumont Hospital in Farmington Hills. So he helps patients that are getting discharged get from their room to the vehicle that's taking them home. So he's actually in the transportation business. So I think the future for Sohan is bright. So next year he's going to be going to college, and he'd like to study medicine and become a doctor. So again, congratulations to Sohan for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout.
Thank you, Brian, for the introduction. And, you know, one of the fun things that we do at Court of Honors is bring up all kinds of fun statistics and facts about scouting and Eagle Scouts. So just a couple of small facts that we have here. When you look at 100 scouts, 100 youth that join scouting, 12, it'll be their first time to have any encounter in a religious setting. 5 will earn their religious emblem. 2 will enter the clergy. 18 will develop hobbies that last a lifetime. 8 will enter a career based on the merit badges they work on. 17 will become scout volunteers. 1 will use their scouting skills to save the life of another person. 1 will use their scouting skills to save their own lives. 28 will continue lifelong hobbies started as scouts, and 3 out of 100 will attain the rank of Eagle Scout. So just a couple of facts that we have there and what scouting has done for youth across America for as long as it's been around. So at this point, what I'd like to do is call up Scott Waldron, who will do our Eagle Scout investiture.
Good afternoon, everyone. To become an Eagle Scout, you have been tested in every area of scouting. Through the ranks of Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, you were required to learn the scouting skills. You tied knots, found your way with a compass, learned to cook, kinda, learned to camp, learned to care for yourself and others. Upon gaining the first class rank, you were ready to enter the next phase of scouting, learning leadership. You earned the Star in Life Award by earning merit badges, successfully completing leadership positions in the troop and giving service to giving service to your community. After earning the Leadership Award, you've been fully trained for the challenge that scouting presented to you, the Eagle Scout requirements. Requirement 1 challenged you to remain active in scouting. Requirement 2 challenged you to continue to live the principles of the Scout Oath and Law. To prove that you have done this, you were required to obtain letters from the individuals who you knew personally and would be willing to attest to your conduct as a scout. Requirement 3 challenged you to earn 21 merit badges. 11 of them were required and 10 were electives. For each of these merit badges, you were required to select and meet with a counselor approved by the Boy Scouts of America, required to select with a counselor approved by and satisfy them with the knowledge and requirements. Requirement 4 challenged you to prove your abilities as a leader. You had to secure your positions in the troop and be responsible to complete the requirements of the position. You were pushed to be the best leader and meet a standard set by those who had held it before you. Requirement 5 challenged you to plan and develop and give leadership to others in a service project that gave benefit to the community. This project was required to be approved by our Scoutmaster. The Troop Committee was required to be approved by our Scoutmaster, the Troop Committee, and Michigan Crossroads Council. Requirement 6 challenged you to reflect on your future life and write a statement that listed your ambitions and life purpose. You presented the plan to your Scoutmaster, who reviewed it and with you and determined if you were fully ready to become an Eagle Scout. Upon completing these requirements, you came to the final step of your scouting trail, this board of review. Your troop committee conducted this board of review a representative from Michigan Crossroads Council in board in attendance. They reviewed all the requirements to ensure that you have met every challenge. At the end of this board review, our troop committee and the Michigan Crossroads Council forward your application to the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America. A review of your application for approval as an Eagle Scout. The President of the United States, the Chief Scout, and the Boy Scouts of America signed the application of Kevin Franklin, Edward Kiles, and Sohan Pinnamaraju, officially making them Eagle Scouts.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Oh, yeah. Okay, so just as Scott was talking about, part of the requirements for the Eagle Scout honor, one of that is you have to do an Eagle project. And just statistically, 9.1 million hours are spent on Eagle projects annually in the United States. So think about that. You know, we all work locally to do that, but, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into these projects. And, you know, you can go out there and see the pictures of what they did to help their community, to help their, you know, whoever they were helping at the time. And it's amazing what the Eagle Scouts do as a result of having to put these projects together. So next in our agenda, we have a special award in Troop 179, which is just a unique thing that we've done over the years there. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Michael Schultz to present the Troop 179 Eagle Scout belt buckle. That's a tongue twister.
Yep. As Art said, my name is Michael Schultz. I'm an associate advisor with the Venturing Crew 179, and it's my honor to present a special item of recognition that is unique to Eagle Scouts from Troop 179. No other troop has an award like this, and some background is that a highly prized trophy for those scouts and adults that complete a high adventure backpacking trek at the Philmont Scout Ranch in Cimarron, New Mexico, will usually buy a classic, what's considered a classic bronze belt buckle with the Philmont logo and the image of their main kind of notable mountain called the Tooth of Time on it. And so in that tradition, or I guess with that inspiration, for the troop's 50th anniversary back in 2016, we commissioned custom belt buckles from a man named Norman Cutliff, who's the same guy who makes the Philmont buckles, and he's a New Mexico Eagle Scout. And then, like the traditional Philmont buckles, there's an official troop buckle now, and it has a bronze finish. It's available to anyone. Kind of looks like that. And as you know, the Olympic Games has a hierarchy of medal colors: bronze, silver, gold. But in the Scout world, they've changed it a little bit. It's bronze, gold, and then silver is the highest level, and that's why the Eagle medallion that they'll receive in a bit is a silver medallion that hangs from a ribbon. And so in that tradition, we made a special run of troop belt buckles that are cast in a pewter silver color. And so these are the ones that are unique to the Eagle Scouts. You can buy a bronze buckle. Anyone can buy that, a scout or an adult, if they're affiliated with the troop, or just to support the troop. The program was envisioned to be self-funded using no troop funds, and that's still the case, where the sale of the bronze buckles would pay to offset the cost of the buckles that are gifted to the Eagle Scouts. And they're not exclusively a uniform item. They can be worn anytime. I mean, generally with a brown belt, but a uniform or not. I wear scout belts all the time, and casual wear too. And So if you're interested in a buckle, I have them. You can purchase them. Would help support the program. But more recently, this Eagle Scout Norman Cutliff from New Mexico has actually donated some of the buckles to us because he's so supports the program, and so that helps us out. So today, I'm going to present a silver belt buckle to Sohan and Kevin, and these are sequentially numbered on the back. Sohan's is number 249. That's the number of Eagle Scouts we've had in the troop, and Kevin is number 250. And what's besides being a nice round number, what's interesting about that is when we started this in 2016, it was number 200. So in the last 6 years, we've had 50 Eagle Scouts. It's pretty impressive. So thank you.
Okay, a couple of more facts here before we bring up our next speaker here. Were you aware that Scouting alumni include 70% of military graduates, 72% of Rhodes Scholars, 85% of FBI agents, 65% of college graduates, 65% of the U.S. Congress, 71% of college football captains, 26 of the first 29 astronauts were Boy Scouts, 11 of the 12 who walked on the moon were Boy Scouts, and 2 of those were Eagle Scouts. So at this time, I would like to call Greg Hooker up to give the charge of the Eagle.
Good afternoon, everyone. The only one that can give the charge of the Eagle is a fellow Eagle Scout. So it's a tremendous pleasure for me and an honor for me as an Eagle Scout to see that every Eagle Scout that goes through Troop 179 receive their charge, and I've been kind of doing the charge for those for a while. Mr. Kyles talked about Kevin having some difficulty growing up. I can attest to the fact that Kevin and Sohan both are perfectly normal teenage boys that get really dumb between 15 and 18. As both parents will attest, they continue to push these young men to get to where they want to be. And we've heard a lot about how great they are. Just remember, they still are teenage boys, and actually not boys anymore. They're fine, well-rounded young men. I have an interesting story. My son also plays high school golf, and Cass Tech was going to play my son's school. By fortunate acts, my son goes to Cranbrook. So as you can imagine, the cultural difference between Cass Tech and Bloomfield Hills, Cranbrook, Kingswood College, or not college, prep school, you would think that there would be not a lot in common. But as these two teams approach the first tee, there's Kevin and my son, who of course no one would expect would know each other, right? Except they act and behave just like normal teenage boys and continue to have the best round and the most fun they've had their entire high school careers playing golf, giving each other good-natured ribbing throughout the whole round. So scouting brings everyone together, and it's a tremendous brotherhood. So let's get on with the charge. Kevin and Sohan, if I could have you stand up front and center. A tradition in this troop that we have is we ask all the Eagle Scouts in the room to please come forward and stand in front of facing Sohan and Kevin so that they understand who they now represent. Because you never were an Eagle Scout, you always are an Eagle Scout.
All right, 2, 3.
Okay. I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in this world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All you know, rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility, but you are now marked men. As an Eagle Scout, you have a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking, As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to all your brother Scouts. America has many good things to give to you and your children after you, but these good things depend, for the most part, of the quality of the citizens. Our country has had a great past. You can make it an even greater future. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the high level of service to God and your fellow man. So live and serve that those who know you are inspired to finer living. We have too many that use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate your skills and your ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And for what others may do, leave behind you a record which every Scout will be justly proud. Eagle Scouts, I ask you now to rededicate yourselves by repeating the Scout Oath. Repeat it slowly as you stand before your fellow Eagle Scouts. Resolve to uphold forever its principles with the same ambition and perseverance that have brought you this far. Scout signs. On my honor. Two. Your conduct along the Eagle Trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourselves to the principles of scouting, but one more thing is important, and it's the most important. It's your future. As an Eagle Scout, become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example to your community. Remember that your actions are a little bit more conspicuous, and people expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility not only reflects upon you, but all of your fellow Eagle Scouts and all of Scouting. The torch that you carry is not just yours, but it is all of ours. Congratulations.
Okay, so just so that you know, just to give you an idea, here are some famous Eagle Scouts that you're now joining the ranks of. We have Gerald Ford, one of our past presidents, Steven Spielberg, Robert Gates, Secretary of Defense, Director of CIA, Mike Rowe, star of Dirty Jobs, Neil Armstrong, and James Valentine, who's the guitarist of Maroon 5. So I was surprised when I found that one. So you're joining these ranks of Eagle Scouts out there, and we hope that you make your mark as well. At this time, I would like to call up our Scoutmaster, Chuck Williams, for the presentation of the Eagle rank.
Well, here we are. It's been a long road. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. Let the colors of the Eagle badge remind you always to live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. Let the blue of the badge always inspire you to loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you to always be courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to a scroll of the second-class Scout, which has its ends turned up and a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle pendant the Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He updates the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. Sohan and Kevin, you deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest rank. Wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward. It has been a pleasure to be Scoutmaster to these two young men. They've come through, they've done everything that I've ever asked for them and more. They participate a lot, they have a lot of friends and are well respected in the troop. It is a special day that we come here to present them with the Eagle Scout rank, and I'm proud to do that. And so if I can have my main assistant, Greg, come forward. Kevin, could you and your parents please stand in the center?
Now we'll present Mom with her pin for all the dedicated work that she's done. Dad, the same pin. Yes, go ahead.
The Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scouts to Kevin Kiles, Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. It was dated November 29th, 2022, and signed by President Biden, as well as the Chief Scout Executive, Mr. Mosby. So Kevin, please accept this from behalf of the National Council.
Kevin, in a few moments, let's.
Yes. Mr. and Mrs. Kiles, we would like to present you this, and there's a story behind it. When I went to college, came home, left my house, my mom looked at me and said, "What, you're taking all that Eagle Scout stuff with you?" And I said, "Yeah, it's my Eagle Scout stuff." And she said, "But we don't have anything here." So since then, our troop has presented a framed picture of the Eagle Scout on the day he got his Eagle to the parents.
I'm a Sohan who's only this tall when he started this. All right, we'll present Mom with a nice pin. Yeah. Now, Mom will pin on the Eagle badge.
The Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Sohan Varma Pinnamaraju. I hope, sorry about that, guys. Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, for recognition of successfully completing all requirements for Scouting's highest rank on October 18th, 2022.
And here's the gift. A nice picture of
Sohan.
Thank you so much for everybody coming, and we'll hear from the Scouts next.
Okay, so now we've heard all about them. Now it's time to actually hear from our new Eagle Scouts. So I would like to first call up Kevin to, give a little talk here. So thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Kyles, as you all know. First, I just want to say thank you all, family, friends, of both of us for just coming out here and just celebrating us for achieving this amazing award. The experience of being a Boy Scout and getting to this higher level, it was really a great one. This experience really shaped the person who I am today. The many campouts we went on, the harsh weather, and it was always harsh. But I mean, just hanging out with friends, having fun, learning new things, it has all kind of culminated in this huge moment for me. And none of this could have been possible without, a couple of adults, Mr. Eversey, Chuck, Connie, Mr. Eimel, and just the whole 179 leadership for really being here day in, day out, just kind of nurturing us and helping us grow. Again, I would also like to thank my parents and also all my family, my extended family, for coming out and supporting me. Because, without you guys, I don't think it would be as much fun, And also, I would just like to thank my fellow Scouts, because, again, without you guys, these 8 years wouldn't be as memorable and as fun as they were. But one of these experiences that I want to kind of talk about is just my first summer camp. So, kind of like as most of the Scouts know, for summer camp's a week-long camp where Scouts from Troop 179 go over to, I think it's Cole. I don't know why Cole, I think. I don't know why I'm losing it, but it's just the camp out is just a week-long camp out where Scouts could just go and learn new skills and just be around each other. For me, for my first summer camp, it was really hard for me because I've kind of been around my parents my whole life. I'm a little spoiled, so I haven't really done much, but kind of being out there, kind of being, I guess, semi-alone, I guess, for the first time with my friends is very eye-opening for me. Not only was the challenging weather and learning how to navigate, having sand in your tent, getting that out, clothes and stuff, it was just the overall experience of doing merit badges kind of in a class-like setting, but also doing it with my friends and having fun. And ever since then, I've loved going summer camp. I've loved going camping. I've just loved doing all the things that, like a normal kid would do by going outside. So, I mean, again, I would just like to thank you all for just coming here. And I would like to thank all of the adults and all the leaders for just being here as well to celebrate this amazing day. Thank you.
Okay, so now at this time, Sohan, if you'd like to come up and make a couple of comments there.
It's not as tall as it should be, but I just want to say, first of all, I would like to thank all of you guys for coming out here and taking time out of your day to come to our Court of Honor and support us, help support us. I would also like to thank all those who made this day possible. I want to thank my scout leaders who have been there and helped me throughout my journey and helped me with an advancement and all my time in scouts. I also want to thank all my fellow scouts who have made the scouting a fun place and enjoyable time to where I can spend time with everyone and get a lot of memories and enjoy it. I also want to thank my family, friends, and others who have helped me with my Eagle Grove project. Without it, I wouldn't have been an Eagle Scout. And I would also like to thank all those who supported me by buying reeds and helping me throughout the years. And finally, I want to thank my parents for their unconditional love and support I had received throughout my journey so far. I've been in Boy Scouts for almost 8 years now, and throughout my time in Boy Scouts, I've been working hard and to advance in ranks and completing merit badges and working in many leadership positions. There's been, like Kevin said, there's been many campouts with grim conditions and not favorable, but those are the times where you get to make many memories and stuff. Like one summer camp, we're in a cooking competition with all the troops and patrols, and me and Kevin were actually in one patrol together, and then it started raining really heavily and our camp flooded, and we were cooking cakes for the competition, and somehow we managed to put back our dining fly after our entire campsite flooded, and we still won. So we just, I don't know how, but we just beat everyone, I don't know. But this journey has been long and difficult, but I'm incredibly happy to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. This journey has helped me learn valuable life lessons such as the importance of dedication, perseverance, and hard work. I've also learned the importance of teamwork and collaboration, and I'm thankful for the experiences that I had. I have been able to use many of these life lessons in my life, and from engaging in volunteering opportunities in my free time to using them to improve my collaboration and group projects in school. I'm also planning on using them in my life lessons to help me in the future as I transition to college next year. Receiving the rank of Eagle Scout is a great honor in which I am humbled by it. I am grateful for the knowledge and experiences I have gained throughout my journey, and I'm excited to see what my future holds. Thank you again for everyone who has helped me achieve this great honor.
Okay, so a couple of housekeeping items here, just real quick, that after this Court of Honor concludes, please join us for refreshments over in the fellowship hall afterwards. And also, both Kevin and Sohan have displays about their years in scouting, so please take a look at that, and you can see their accomplishments that they've made over the years. And then just, finally, on behalf of Troop 179, I would like to, again, congratulate both Kevin and Sohan for achieving the rank of Eagle. So thank you. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming. And even though he's not aware of this, I'm asking Alex Zhang to come up to do our Scoutmaster's benediction to close our National Eagle Court of Honor. So, Alex?
All right. May everyone please rise. Scoutmaster's benediction for those who know. And now, may the great master of all scouts be with us until we meet again. And thus, court dismissed.